Hello and welcome back to J.P.s Retro World, where we discuss a lot of things, including professional wrestling, 80s things, 90s things, movies, TV shows, anything that's retro. I want to talk about it. And today we're talking about a 1980s movie. Now, this is a movie that I watched in the theaters when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. And later on, it became, kind of an ongoing, continuous rotation in what I choose to watch. And so I'm going to show it to you right now. Now I don't have any of the sequels on Blu-ray, and I don't have them on DVD. I just have this first one, but I'm going to show it to you right now. But it's The Karate Kid, starring Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita. Killer movie. I love this movie. Now, if you're for by some chance have not seen this movie, let me just run it down for you. So, this kid, he plays Daniel LaRusso, a teenage kid whose mom, they live in New Jersey, but his mom gets a job in California. So they pack up and they move across the country to California, where he's not really happy about it. He wants to stay in New Jersey, but his mom, she got a job and she's a single mom. His dad died, and so they're on their own. So she's moved him to California for a better life. So he starts to go to school and he meets this girl, but she's dating this guy. She was dating this guy that's part of this karate school called the Cobra Kai's, and they're a bunch of kind of bullies. And once they find out that Daniel's kind of dating her, they kind of bully him and they give him a hard time. And then he does his best to kind of stick up for himself, but he doesn't really know karate like they do, so they kind of beat him up a little bit. But then he starts training with this guy, Mr. Miyagi, who is the maintenance man for the apartments that they live in. But he also happens to be a karate master from like years back. It's his family karate. So he starts training Daniel to stick up for himself and to defend himself. But the way he goes about it is kind of unique, where he has Daniel do all these chores and stuff, where he has to do like specific hand movements and stuff. Like everybody remembers the iconic wax on, wax off scene, or where he's having to paint the house or paint the fence like this, and he has to go like this. Where basically Miyagi's teaching him defense. He's teaching him how to block, kicks and punches and stuff. So then he starts training, and Miyagi gets him involved with this upcoming, All Valley Karate tournament. And so Daniel enters the tournament, and miraculously he wins, despite the fact that he has to fight some of the Cobra Kai's, and they like to cheat and take the cheap shots and cheap way out and get themselves intentionally disqualified. But in the end, Daniel wins by 1 point, but he wins the tournament, and the bullies from the Cobra Kai, they end up kind of respecting Daniel, and so that's how Daniel kind of deals with the bullies, where he kind of stands up for himself, sticks up to him, and eventually they respect him, and everything's good. So it's a really good movie, and it spawned several sequels. Like I said, I don't have them, but it also spawned a series, which started off on YouTube Red, but now it's on Netflix, called Cobra Kai, and it's a really, really good, very well done TV series, which I enjoy, and it takes you back to nostalgia. It takes you back to, especially this original movie. And I remember my older sister went to see this movie first, and she came home and she said, "Yeah, it was really good," and she told us about the big crane kick at the end, and and then whenever I saw it, I think I went with like my dad or somebody. I don't remember, but I remember when we went out and saw it, I was intrigued by it, because what kid doesn't want to know karate? What kid doesn't want to be a ninja and stuff? So after I watched that movie, I would come home going, oh, 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 do all these fake karate moves and pretend like I'm doing martial art kicks and stuff. And, it was fun. And I remember one time my dad trying to emulate the crane kick. Instead of putting his arms up like you're supposed to, he put it out straight, and then he did kind of this straight kick forward and went, oh! And I'm like, what are you doing, Dad? He's like, oh, that's the crane kick from Karate Kid. And I'm like, oh, gotcha. So it was just a fun, cool movie. And, some look at this and they look at the first season of Cobra Kai. Whenever there's a scene where Johnny, kind of one of the bullies from the Cobra Kai, actually the head bully from Cobra Kai, he's explaining to his student about what happened during this movie. He's like, but from Johnny's point of view, Daniel was like the real bully. Daniel's the one that came in and stole his girlfriend and was, kind of a jerk and everything. And, it's just a matter of perspective. I still think that in those days, Johnny was the one being a bully. But in the Cobra Kai series, Daniel's the one that's kind of a bully and kind of won't listen to reason, won't let Johnny apologize, won't let him, just bury the hatchet like Johnny wants to. But, it is what it is. But everybody did a really good job in this movie with acting. Elizabeth Shue is in this movie. Yes, love me some Elizabeth Shue. And it was just a really all-around good, fun 80s movie. And actually, I watched a YouTube video, actually a couple different YouTube videos where YouTube vloggers, they went to all the filming locations of the first movie, including the golf and stuff, like the miniature golf arcade that they went to in the first movie. Now, there's no longer a water slide there. In fact, I think they just built the water slides for the movie. But, yeah, that lot where there used to be a water slide is just gravel with, like, electrical units and stuff in it. But, no, the golf and stuff is still there. Like, the golf course and the arcade is still there, and the little cafe and stuff, everything is still there. And this vlogger, went to all the houses and stuff. And the apartment complex that Daniel and his mother moved to is a real apartment. And you can actually look it up online, and they actually have apartments for rent. They're expensive because it's California, but man, it would be epic. Like if I was living in those apartments, and if I was actually living in the very same apartment that this movie was filmed in, man, that'd be awesome. But I live in Missouri, but I'm happy where I'm at. But I just love this movie, and I love the sequels. Now, I like the second one. The third one I didn't love as much, just because, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it was as good. And the next Karate Kid didn't even have Ralph Macchio in it. It had, I think, Hilary Swank, where she played a female student of Mr. Miyagi. Now, Mr. Miyagi's in the movie, but I think I saw it once and was like, I don't know. It's just not the same without Ralph Macchio. But anyway, so the Karate Kid. And that is my spiel. That is my thing with the Karate Kid. So if you are new, if you like what you're seeing, please click the like button if you like the video, that is. And you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That helps me out too. You don't necessarily have to watch everything, but if you subscribe, that helps me out. And I will see you next time.